Greetings, children. Welcome to my channel, Inside Accountancy by Shakun. Accountancy made easy. Today we'll be talking about cash book, which is a special purpose book. In this video, we'll be talking about cash book, the types of cash book, petty cash book in particular, and an example based on it. So what is a cash book? A cash book is a record of the various receipts and payments of cash as well as bank in under one heading under one account. We have also discussed about the types of cash book. We know there are two major types of cash books. One is the simple or single column cash book and the other is the two column or double column cash book. We have discussed both these types of cash books in the previous videos. There is another type of cash book which is known as the petty cash book. Today we'll be talking about the petty cash book in detail. So, what is a petty cash book? A petty cash book is a book which is used for the purpose of recording the expenses which involve really small amounts. So beside the petty expenses, the receipts from the main cashier are also recorded. Petty cash book is just like a petty cash account where the petty cashier maintains the records of the small expenses rather than recording them in the main cash book. Petty cash given to the petty cashier for small payments is recorded on the credit side of the cash book as petty cash account and is posted to the debit side of petty cash account in the ledger. So basically a petty cash book is just like any other cash book, but it is related to or it records the small amounts of money. Moving on. Now let's talk about the systems of petty cash. So basically there are two systems of petty cash. One is the simple system of petty cash. The other is the impressed system of petty cash. In case of simple system of petty cash, the petty cashier is given an appropriate amount of cash and after spending that amount, he submits the petty cash account to the head cashier. Head cashier is the one who maintains the main cash book. So petty cashier is given certain amount, he makes the payments out of that amount and in the end he submits his petty cash account to the head cashier. On the other hand, impressed system of petty cash, under this system, an estimate is made of amount required for the petty expenses for a particular period. It can be a week or a fortnight, that is 15 days or a month. The amount which is estimated is given to the petty cashier in the beginning of that period. That is, if it's a week, so in the beginning of the week. If it's a fortnight, in the beginning of the fortnight. If it's a month, then in the beginning of the month. That specific amount is given to the petty cashier. Now, the amount of petty expenses paid by the petty cashier is reimbursed to him periodically. That means that when the petty cashier is given a certain amount of money, he has to make payments out of it. At the end of the particular period, he is reimbursed the amount that he had spent. So basically, at the beginning of the period for which the petty cash book is maintained, the petty cashier will have a certain amount of money. For example, if we say that the impressed amount is 500. That means in the beginning of every week, the petty cashier should have 500. Say the petty cashier has made a payment of 450 and by the end of the week, he has left with a balance of only rupees 50. That means in the beginning of the next week, in order to make that 50 500, 450 should be reimbursed to him. So basically the impressed amount, that is 500, should be there in the beginning of the period for which the petty cash book is maintained. This amount which is given or this amount which should be maintained is called impressed money. This system of paying advance in the beginning and then reimbursing the amount spent from time to time is called impressed system. Impressed system is the system in which amount is given in the beginning of the period and is reimbursed at the end of the period. This can come as a 1-mark question. Now let's further talk about the advantages of impressed system of petty cash which majority of the business organizations follow. So the first advantage is control over mistakes. Now the petty cash book is checked by the head cashier. It is maintained by the petty cashier and it is checked by the head cashier at regular intervals so that if there is any kind of mistake that is committed, it can soon be rectified. The next advantage is control over petty expenses. Now, since the petty expenses are incurred by using the money of the impressed, that is, the impressed money is used to make payments for every kind of petty expense. Therefore, the petty cashier, he cannot spend more than the available petty cash with him. Like I gave you in the example that if the impressed money is 500, he can make payments only from this 500. He cannot exceed the payments. So this helps in keeping a control over the petty expenses. The next advantage is control over frauds. So under this system, misuse of cash can be minimized. Why? Because the petty cashier is not allowed to draw cash as and when he desires. He cannot withdraw cash as per his requirements, but he can make payments out of the impressed money which has been allocated to him. So these were the various advantages of impressed system of petty cash. Now let's talk about the types of petty cash books. There are basically two types of petty cash books. One is the simple petty cash book and the other one is known as the analytical petty cash book. Let's understand their meaning by having a look at their format. So a simple petty cash book is basically identical with a cash book. Any cash with the petty cashier receives is recorded on the left hand side cash column, debit or the receipt column. That is, the left hand side column is the receipt column. So any cash that is received from the petty cashier by the petty cashier is recorded on this side, on the receipt column. And any cash that he pays out is recorded on the right hand side, which is the credit or the payments column. Okay, so there are no two particulars column. It's not a T-shaped account. One particular column, and any cash received is shown under the amount received, which is the receipt column, and cash paid is shown under the amount paid, that is the payment column. The date and particulars of every transaction is written in the same date and particulars column. So there are no two dates and two particulars column as we had in case of a cash book. Here date and particulars column is one only. In these two columns only, all the receipts as well as payments are recorded, but the amounts are put respectively in the receipt column or in the payment column. For example, if an amount is received for petty cash, the impressed money, so two petty cash will be written under the particulars column, and the amount, since it is received, it will be shown under amount received. Now this cash book folio and ledger folio, these are basically the page numbers of ledger book and the page number of cash book, because ultimately the amount which is the balance from the petty cash book, or the amount which is given as impressed money, it is also shown in the main cash book. So the cash book folio and the ledger folio shows the page number where this amount has been transferred in the cash book and where cash account has been maintained in the ledger. Now, if any payment has been made, so by any head of expenses, again that is also to and by, both are written in the same particulars column, and the amount is written under amount paid. Now this ledger folio and the voucher number, both these things are basically again the page number of these respective head of expenses in the ledger account, and voucher number is the number through which we are recording the evidence of the transaction happening. Okay, so these are basically the page numbers in the question. This information regarding these will not be given. Ledger folio, voucher number, cash book folio will not be given to you. You will be using the date column, particulars column, amount received column, and amount paid column. So a simple petty cash book is similar to a cash book or a cash account. Moving on, the analytical petty cash book. Now, under analytical petty cash book, again it has two sides. The left hand side is used for recording the receipts of cash, and the right hand side is used for recording the payments. Okay, so on the left hand side we record the receipts from where the money is coming in, and on the left hand side we record the payments where the money is going. In this cash book, a separate column is provided for recording a particular item of expenditure. As you can see that the expenditures, the common headings of expenditures, separate columns have been made for them in case of analytical cash book. For example, it may be postage or stationery, advertisement, cartage, and we can have a miscellaneous column or a sundries column, etc. A column is usually provided for sundries to record the infrequent payments. So if you can identify the main expenses, fine. The expenses which do not fall under all these four categories can find a place in sundries. When petty expenses are recorded on the right side under total payments column, whenever any petty expense is recorded here, the same amount is also recorded under the different expenses. Let's understand this. Suppose the amount that you have received from the from the cash book as petty cash, you are writing it under the particulars column, but the amount, since it is received, it is recorded on the left hand side under receipt column. Similarly, again, you will have by heads of expenses, the various expenses which you are making. The amount will be written under total payments. Now, the same amount which you are writing under total payments will also be written under any one of these expenses which are shown here. As you can see, I have just shown you that if it is a part of conveyance, then it will be shown under conveyance. If it will be a part of cartage, then it will be shown under cartage, or stationery, or postage and courier, or sundries. So depending upon the type of expense, it will be shown respectively in the heads of expenses. In analytical cash book, basically we come to know about the petty expenses. These petty expenses are basically classified into appropriate heads of expenses. Each head of expense can be conveniently transferred to appropriate account in the ledger. So we can know the total of conveyance from the analytical cash book, or the total of cartage, and this can directly go to the ledger book. So posting becomes very easy when we are preparing a analytical cash book. Now this petty cash book is balanced at the end of the month or a specified period, and the columns for payments and expenses are also totaled, and total equals the total is always equal in case of receipt and payment. Basically the balancing is done in the same way as we used to do in case of cash book. We will understand this with the help of an example. Okay, so this is a question that we've taken for solving. From the following information, prepare an analytical petty cash book. So you've been given certain transactions here. Let's read the first transaction and see how it will be shown in the analytical cash book. Let's first make the format. So this is the format of analytical cash book, where we have receipt side, date and voucher number, particulars, total payments, then the heads of accounts, separate columns have been made. So the format is done. Now moving to the first transaction, on April 1, received for cash payment 20,000. So what is this? Basically you've received cash from the head cashier into the petty cash account. Okay. So how will this entry be shown in the petty cash book? We will show it in the particulars as to cash on April 1, 2018, and the amount I've not written in payments because this is the amount that I am receiving. The petty cashier is receiving, so amount has been written under the receipt column. Moving on to the next entry, we have paid for postage. Let's have a look at the solution. So paid for postage. So by postage and telegram, or by postage also you could write, on April 2, amount is 1600. So under payments I've written the amount 1600. Now this 1600 will also be written respectively in the heads of expenses, the column for the different columns for expenses that we have made. So this 1600 would fall under postage and courier. So we will write it under here also. Then moving back to the question, paid for stationery. So paid for stationery rupees 1000. Again in the solution we will write by stationery 1000 under total payments, and then since it is stationery, so under stationery column also we will write 1000. The next adjustment is paid for advertisement 2000. Paid for advertisement. Again we will write by advertisement 2000 under total payments. Now I do not have any separate column for advertisement here. So advertisement will be written under sundries. So if you've made 5 columns, let the last column be a miscellaneous column or a sundries column, where the thing which does not find a place, the expense which does not find a place in any of these 4 columns, can go to that particular sundries column. Moving back to the question. Next we have paid for wages, paid for carriage. I'll take 2 transactions together. Paid for wages 800 and paid for carriage 600. Let's see how these transactions will be shown. So by wages 800 under total payments. I again do not have a wages account, expense account here. So 800 will be shown under sundries. The next expense was by carriage 600. Carriage account I have made. So this 600 would be written under carriage. Moving back to the question, we've done till carriage. Next is paid for conveyance and paid for traveling expenses, 880 and 3200. Conveyance and traveling expenses. So by conveyance, we have written 880. We have a separate column for conveyance here. So under this column, we will write 880. The next was by traveling expenses. Now traveling expenses again is conveyance and traveling expenses are one and the same thing. Therefore, traveling expenses are shown under conveyance. Moving back to the question, let's look at the next transaction. Paid for postage, paid for office cleaning. Paid for postage and paid for office cleaning. So by postage, we have a postage and telegram or a courier account. So under that, we'll write 480. And by office cleaning we do not have an account. So where will we show it? Yes, very right. We will show it under sundries since we did not have a separate expense account column for office cleaning. Moving back to the question. Okay, so the next transaction is paid for telegram 800 and sent registered notice to landlord 190. So again, where will we show this transaction in the petty cash book? We will write by postage and telegram 800, and again we will write it under the column specified for postage and courier, that is 800. And the last transaction was by the legal charges which we had made, and they will find a place in postage and courier because that was also relating to the notice, right? So after we put all the payments, after we write to cash, the amount received, and we make all the payments, the next step would be we will find out the total of all these columns starting from total payments. So we find out the total payments are these. Under conveyance also we'll write the amount, then carriage, stationery total, postage and courier total, and sundries total. So we'll find out the total under all these columns. The next step would be to find out the total of, or to compare the total of total receipts and the total payments. Now the total payments we can see is 11,950 and the total receipts are 20,000. Like we used to do in case of a cash book, we have to write the greater total on both sides. So the greater total out of 20,000 and 11,950, the greater total is 20,000, which we will write on both sides. Now we need to find out the balancing figure. So 20,000 minus this greater total 20,000 minus 11,950 gives us 8050, which is our balancing figure. This balancing figure is by balance carried down on the last day of April. We have been preparing this for 1 month, I believe. So on the last day of April, we have by balance carried down as 8050, which will be the balance brought down. By becomes 2. So 2 balance brought down, again 8050. This is the amount which you had in the petty cash book. So what can you make a guess that what would be the amount by which reimbursement would be made? The amount that you have spent, 11,950, will be reimbursed in the month of May. So in the month of May, to cash would be how much? 11,950 to make the impressed amount of total 20,000. So in the beginning of every period, the impressed amount should always be how much? 20,000. So in order to make 8050 20,000, whatever amount that we had spent would be written here to make it 20,000. So this was the solution to our question. On the basis of the concept that I have taught, kindly attempt question number 14 to 16 from T.S. Grewal and submit it as soon as possible. In this chapter, we have talked about the cash book, the types of cash book, petty cash book in particular, the analytical petty cash book, simple petty cash book, and with the help of an example of analytical petty cash book. I hope the concepts were clear to you, and I hope I could make the concepts easy for you. If you liked my video, kindly like, share, and subscribe. In case you have any questions, you can contact me on my email ID, contactshakun@gmail.com. Comments are welcome. Please feel free to put your comments here. Thank you so much for listening to me so patiently.